Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Smart Talk English. I'm Natasha, your host for today. If you're new here, I'd like to let you know that we upload a new English learning video every day to help you improve your English faster and more confidently. In today's episode, we're going to talk about something incredibly important for anyone learning English: how to think smart and speak fluent English. This lesson will help you not only build your fluency, but also sharpen your thinking in English, so you don't just speak, you communicate with clarity and confidence. We'll explore how smart thinking and smart strategies can help you speak fluently in daily life without stopping or translating in your head. Through simple explanations, real-life examples, and practical exercises, you'll learn how to connect ideas smoothly, choose the right words quickly, and build English speaking habits that actually work. Whether you're a beginner or someone who's been learning English for a while, this video will give you the mental tools and spoken patterns that make everyday English easier and more natural. Before we start the lesson, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more helpful English learning episodes just like this one. So, get ready, keep your focus strong, and grab your pen and paper. Let's get started. Fluency in English is not just about knowing vocabulary or grammar rules. It's about being able to think in English and express your ideas smoothly without overthinking. This doesn't happen overnight, but it becomes easier when you train your brain to think smart. Thinking smart means learning how to prepare your mind to respond faster, how to organize your thoughts clearly, and how to stay calm, even when you don't know a word. One common mistake learners make is thinking in their native language and then translating into English. This creates a delay, and the sentences often sound unnatural. To avoid this, you need to shift your mindset. Train your brain to think directly in English, even for simple thoughts like, I am hungry, I will go outside, or what time is it? Start practicing by speaking out loud to yourself. Describe what you are doing in the moment. For example, when you wake up, say, I am getting out of bed. I am brushing my teeth. I am making breakfast. This habit helps build a direct connection between your thoughts and the English language. Let's look at a simple daily conversation that can help you practice smart thinking and fluent speaking. Imagine you're getting ready to leave for work. You say, I need to wear something comfortable today because I'll be outside most of the time. You check the weather and say, it's sunny now, but I'll carry an umbrella just in case it rains later. These sentences seem easy, but they train your brain to think in complete ideas and prepare you for real-life situations. The more you practice this kind of internal talk, the more fluent your speech becomes. It's all about making thinking and speaking work together. Fluency also depends on confidence. Many learners know the words, but hesitate to speak because they're afraid of making mistakes. But think about how children learn a language. They make many mistakes, but they don't stop. They keep talking. You have to do the same. Don't wait for perfect grammar or perfect vocabulary. Focus on communicating your message. If you make a mistake, it's okay. Most people will still understand you, and with time, your accuracy will improve naturally. Confidence grows when you speak regularly. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, speak to yourself, to a friend, or even to your phone. Record your voice and listen to it. Notice the rhythm, the pauses, and how your sentences flow. Here's a quick practice exercise to help you build smart thinking and fluent speaking. I will describe a routine, and then you can pause and try to say the same thing in your own words. Ready? I wake up at 6:30 in the morning. The first thing I do is stretch my arms and legs. Then I go to the bathroom and wash my face. I brush my teeth and look in the mirror. I usually wear something comfortable at home. Then I go to the kitchen and make a cup of tea. I like to drink tea while reading the news. Now it's your turn. Can you describe your own morning routine in English? Try to keep it simple but fluent. Speak in full sentences. Don't worry if you pause. The goal is to keep your mind thinking in English. Another smart strategy is to build a set of phrases that you can use in everyday situations. These are like mental shortcuts that help you speak without stopping to think too much. For example, phrases like, I'm not sure, but I think, can you please repeat that? That's interesting. Or, let me check and get back to you. These are useful in both casual and formal conversations. Practice using these in your daily life. When you're speaking to someone and you don't know what to say next, using a familiar phrase gives you time to think and keeps the conversation going. Fluency is not about speaking fast. It's about speaking clearly and naturally. Use pauses to your advantage. A short pause helps you collect your thoughts and makes your speech sound confident. Thinking smart is also about listening smart. When you listen to English, pay attention to how people use phrases, how they start and end sentences, and how they react to each other. These patterns can help you form your own sentences. For example, in a conversation, if someone says, "How was your weekend?" you don't have to think too much. Just respond with, "It was great, thanks. I went to the park and spent time with my family." Listening helps you store useful sentence structures in your brain, which you can use automatically when you speak. Now let's continue building your ability to think smart and speak fluent English by focusing on how your brain processes information during conversations. When you're having a conversation, your brain is doing multiple things at once. It's listening, understanding, thinking, choosing words, and forming sentences. If you don't train your brain to handle this smoothly, it becomes overwhelming. That's why smart thinking is so important. It helps you reduce pressure on your mind by organizing your thoughts ahead of time. One effective way to do this is by practicing with predictable questions and answers. For example, if you go to a coffee shop, you already know the conversation might include, "What would you like to order?" "Would you like anything else?" Or, "For here or to go?" You can prepare your answers in advance. "I'll have a latte, please." "No, that's all, thank you." Or, "To go, please." These small conversations add up and give your brain confidence to handle more complex situations over time. Let's do a small practice together now. Imagine you're at a clothing store. The salesperson says, "Can I help you find something?" You reply, "Yes, I'm looking for a blue shirt." The salesperson asks, "What size do you wear?" And you respond, "Medium, please." Then they say, "You can try these shirts in the fitting room." You say, "Thank you." This entire conversation is predictable and easy to rehearse. When you practice these types of short dialogues again and again, you develop quick thinking and fluent speaking skills. Try practicing this same role play with a different situation, like being at a doctor's clinic or a train station. The more familiar situations you practice, the smarter your brain becomes at handling real conversations in English. Another part of thinking smart is learning how to connect your ideas logically. Fluent speakers often use linking words like because, so, but, and then. These words make your sentences flow naturally. Let's try a practice example. Instead of saying, "I was tired, I went to sleep," say, "I was tired, so I went to sleep." Or, "I didn't eat lunch because I was busy." Adding these small connecting words trains your brain to think in full ideas instead of short pieces. The more you use these connectors, the easier it becomes to speak smoothly. Let's take this a step further with a daily routine story. Listen carefully and try to repeat it, or describe your own version afterward. Today was a busy day. I woke up early because I had an appointment. After getting ready, I took a taxi to the city. The traffic was slow, but I reached on time. I met my friend at a cafe near the office. We talked for about an hour, and then I went to the library to finish some work. In the evening, I cooked dinner and watched a movie before going to bed. This type of story helps your mind get used to the natural order of actions and events. After listening to this, try telling your own story using similar structure. Begin with how your day started and describe each activity with connectors like after, then, so, and because. These details help your English flow like a native speaker. Another way to improve fluency is to build your vocabulary around topics you talk about most. Think about your daily life: food, travel, work, study, hobbies. Create a small set of words and phrases for each topic. For example, for the topic of food, you can learn phrases like, I usually skip breakfast. I love spicy food. Or, can I get this without onions? Repeat them in sentences, speak them aloud, and use them in your own conversations. When you use words in context, your memory becomes stronger, and your fluency becomes more natural. The goal is not to memorize a long list of words, but to be able to use useful phrases easily in daily life. Let's do a short vocabulary-based practice now. Imagine you're at a restaurant. The waiter says, "Are you ready to order?" You reply, "Yes, I'd like the grilled chicken with a side salad." The waiter says, "Would you like anything to drink?" You answer, "Just water, thank you." Then they ask, "Would you like any dessert?" And you say, "Not today, thank you." Now you try it. Think about what you like to order and form a short dialogue in your mind. Speak it out loud and imagine the situation as real. This kind of practical thinking helps your brain connect real situations with the English language directly. As you become more comfortable with these conversations and sentence patterns, your fluency will naturally improve. Thinking smart means always being one step ahead, knowing what kind of response might come, and preparing your mind to answer it smoothly. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. Remember, fluency grows with confidence, and confidence grows with daily practice. To continue building smart thinking habits, it's helpful to reflect on common situations where English learners often feel stuck. One of these situations is when someone asks you an unexpected question. Your brain starts searching for the right words, and sometimes you freeze. To handle this smoothly, prepare a few useful expressions in advance. For example, if you need more time to think, you can say, "That's a good question. Let me think for a moment." If you didn't understand the question clearly, you can say, "Could you please repeat that?" Or, "I didn't catch that. Can you say it again?" These small phrases are not only polite, but they also give you time to process and respond without feeling pressure. This is how smart speakers handle real conversations. They don't panic, they stay calm, and they use helpful phrases to keep the flow going. Let's practice this with a short scenario. Imagine someone asks you, "What do you usually do on weekends?" You could pause and say, Let me think. I usually spend time with my family, go shopping, or just relax at home." You're not rushing. You're allowing your brain to build a sentence step by step. This is a sign of smart communication. The more you practice this calm and collected speaking style, the more fluent and natural you'll become. Another powerful way to improve fluency is by shadowing. Shadowing is when you listen to a sentence in English and then repeat it right after, trying to copy the pronunciation, speed, and rhythm. This technique trains your mouth and brain to work together. You hear natural English, and you speak it out loud without delay. It's like exercising your English muscles. For example, listen to the sentence, "I'll be there in 5 minutes," and repeat it immediately after. Then do it again with, "I'm not sure what time the meeting starts." By shadowing short, everyday phrases, you get used to natural English patterns and start speaking with more flow. Now let's do a mini shadowing practice. I'll say a few short sentences. Pause after each one and repeat them out loud. Ready? I'm going to the store. Do you need anything from the market? I'll be back in an hour. Let's meet after lunch. I forgot to send the email. These are everyday sentences that you can use in real conversations. Repeat them multiple times until they feel natural. Shadowing works best when you do it every day, even for just 5 or 10 minutes. Fluent speakers also use emotions and tone in their voice to express ideas more effectively. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it. When you sound happy, curious, or concerned, your message becomes more engaging. Try saying the sentence, "That's great news," with excitement. Then say, "I'm sorry to hear that," with a caring tone. Practicing different tones helps you express yourself better and adds life to your speech. Thinking smart means understanding how your voice and words work together. Let's look at a short conversation where tone makes a big difference. Imagine two friends talking. One says, "Guess what? I got the job." And the other responds with excitement, "Wow, that's amazing." Then the first friend says, "But I have to move to another city." The second friend replies in a softer tone, "Oh, really? That must be hard." The words are simple, but the tone changes the meaning. Practicing tone helps you sound more natural and fluent in real conversations. Another important part of smart thinking is preparation. Think about the situations you face regularly, like making phone calls, asking for help, introducing yourself, or giving directions. Prepare sentences and phrases for these situations in advance. For example, if you often talk to your coworkers in English, practice saying, "I'll finish this task by tomorrow," or, "Can you help me with this report?" If you work in a shop, prepare phrases like, "How can I help you today?" or, "Would you like to try a different size?" When you prepare like this, you reduce the thinking time during actual conversations, and your fluency improves quickly. Speaking fluent English is not about being perfect. It's about being ready. Ready with the right phrases, ready with a calm mind, and ready to keep talking, even if you make a small mistake. Smart thinking helps you build that readiness every day. Let's now talk about one more smart way to speak fluent English: storytelling. Storytelling is a powerful method that allows you to express ideas, emotions, and events in a natural and fluent way. When you tell a story, your brain gets into a rhythm. You're not just saying random words, you're connecting events in a logical sequence, which is a great way to practice fluent English. Even if it's just a small daily story, it helps you think in English and speak clearly. For example, try telling a story like this. Yesterday, I went to the supermarket to buy some vegetables. I met an old friend near the entrance. We talked for a few minutes and then went our separate ways. After shopping, I came home and made a delicious meal. It was a simple day, but I enjoyed it. This kind of story can be practiced every day. You don't need anything special, just your own daily life. Practice telling the story to yourself out loud, and your fluency will improve faster than you expect. Let's try another practice. Think about what you did last weekend. Start with where you went, who you met, what you did, and how you felt. Try something like, on Saturday, I stayed at home most of the day. In the afternoon, I watched a movie and then went for a walk in the park. It was peaceful and relaxing. When you tell stories like this, you're using past tense, sequencing, and emotional language, all essential for fluency. Don't worry about mistakes. Focus on fluency and natural expression. Thinking smart also means understanding patterns. In English, there are many phrases that follow common patterns, and knowing them helps you speak without hesitation. For example, think of phrases like, I'm thinking about, I'm looking forward to, I'm not used to. You can build many sentences using these. Let's do a quick practice. Complete these sentences. I'm thinking about starting, maybe a new hobby or a project. I'm looking forward to visiting, perhaps a friend or a new place. I'm not used to waking up, maybe early in the morning. Practicing patterns like these prepares your brain to speak quickly and confidently when real conversations happen. Another smart habit is to ask yourself questions in English throughout the day. This is a way of thinking in English that keeps your brain active. For example, ask yourself, what time is it now? What should I cook for dinner? Do I have any plans tomorrow? When you ask questions in English, you also prepare yourself to answer them in English. This simple mental exercise builds fluency without needing another person to talk to. You become your own English practice partner. Let's practice with some quick self-talk. You wake up and say, good morning. It's a new day. What do I need to do today? Then you go to the kitchen and say, I'm making breakfast. Maybe I'll have eggs and toast. As you eat, you think, I have a meeting at 10 o'clock. I need to prepare for it. These are very simple sentences, but they make a big difference in how you think and speak. The more you think in English, the less you'll translate, and the more fluent you will become. Also, try to challenge yourself with simple descriptions. Look around you and describe what you see. For example, there's a red chair near the window. It looks very comfortable. The sun is coming through the glass. It makes the room warm. This kind of description sharpens your vocabulary and sentence structure. If you keep doing this every day, your English will become not just fluent, but also expressive and rich. Finally, smart thinking includes reviewing your progress. Every week, take a few minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, what new phrases did I learn? Or, what situations did I handle in English this week? Maybe you had a phone conversation, helped someone in English, or watched a movie without subtitles. Celebrate those moments. Every small step means you're getting better. Keep a journal in English. Write a few lines each day about what you did or how you felt. This simple habit helps you think more clearly in English and improves both speaking and writing skills. The secret to fluency is not in speaking faster, but in speaking smarter. Use the English you know well. Practice thinking in English. Prepare for real-life situations, and tell stories about your own life. These habits will turn you into a confident and fluent English speaker. Now, as we move towards the end of this session, let's bring everything together with some final advice, extra practice, and a reminder of how smart thinking truly builds fluent speaking. One of the most powerful tools you have is repetition. Repeating phrases, repeating short stories, and repeating common sentence structures is not boring. It's actually brain training. When you repeat something, your brain starts to remember it as a pattern. Later, when you need to speak, those patterns come back automatically, without effort. For example, let's take a simple phrase. I'm not sure about that. If you say it every day, in different tones and situations, your brain remembers it. Then, when you really need to say it in a conversation, it comes out fluently. You don't stop to think or translate. This is what smart speaking is, speaking with patterns that are already in your mind. To practice this, choose 5 to 10 useful phrases and repeat them every day for a week. Say them slowly, then faster, then in different emotions. For example, "That sounds great." "I don't think so." "Let me check and get back to you." "It depends on the situation." "Can I help you with that?" These are short, but powerful. When they become automatic, your speaking becomes smooth. You don't need to invent new sentences every time. You just use the smart, ready ones. Let's now do one last real-life practice exercise. I'll describe a full short day in English. Listen carefully, and then try to repeat or describe your own version using similar words and phrases. Today, I had a busy morning. I woke up early because I had to prepare for a meeting. After taking a shower and getting dressed, I made a quick breakfast. I had toast and coffee. Then I checked my emails and packed my laptop. I reached the office around 9 o'clock. The meeting went well, and I shared my ideas with the team. After work, I went to the grocery store to buy some fruits and vegetables. Now I'm back home, feeling a little tired, but satisfied. This story is simple, realistic, and full of practical phrases. Now try to tell your own story. Use the same style. Don't rush. Think in English. Speak in full sentences. This is how you turn smart thinking into fluent talking. It's also important to train your ears. Listening is half of communication, and when you understand English better, your speaking naturally improves too. Make it a habit to listen to English every day, but don't just listen. Listen actively. That means noticing how people start their sentences, how they connect ideas, and how they respond in conversations. Try repeating what they say, and try changing the sentence to make it your own. For example, if you hear someone say, "I'm planning to visit my parents this weekend," you can repeat, "I'm planning to visit my friend this weekend," or "I'm planning to go shopping this weekend." This builds flexibility and fluency in your mind. One more smart tip before we finish. Stay patient with your progress. Fluency is not a race. It's a journey. Some days will feel smooth. Others will feel difficult. That's normal. What matters is that you keep practicing. Speak a little every day. Think a little every day. Listen a little every day. That's how smart learners become fluent speakers. You don't need to know everything. You just need to be ready to use what you know. Focus on progress, not perfection. Even one new phrase a day can make a big difference after a few weeks. Before we close, here's a final reflection exercise. Take a few seconds to think in English. What did you learn today? What sentences do you remember most? What will you practice tomorrow? Try to answer these questions in English, even if it's just in your mind. For example, today I learned how to prepare for daily conversations. I will practice using short stories. Tomorrow, I will try to think in English in the morning. This self-reflection trains your thinking and makes your learning stronger. Thank you so much for staying with me today. I hope this session gave you not just information, but real confidence to think smart and speak fluent English. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and don't forget, every word you speak brings you one step closer to fluency. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and press the bell icon so you never miss an episode. I'm Natasha, and I'll see you again very soon with another helpful English learning session. Take care and keep speaking English every day.